Hello there, fellow Endzoners. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Endzone 2, Episode 6, 101 Settlers. Okay, now that the drought's over, I definitely need to... Oh, that's interesting. I have... Water is refilling really fast here because I'd never moved the jetty workers from their employment, so all the jetties are going and all the wells are going, which is quite a lot of water. So I'm still water positive even without the wells, but I have some extra workforce, so I'll put them working in the wells anyway.
New instructions?
Okay, 77. I don't know why that number was like hidden from me before. At least we can see it now. Let's go with... So of the text that I have access to, I think all the things that were blocked, that aren't blocked in the demo, are already released, but you can... I'll just go over some of what I can already see. So we've got like huts, which is better housing, one of each type. Upgraded material depots to store more, water towers for more water storage, upgraded tailors for, I'm assuming, more efficient, and also possibly lead vests that you can make, iron mine, iodine mine, iron smelter, vehicle workshop to be able to make your own vehicles, upgraded charcoal kilns, upgraded tool makers for iron tools, a crematorium so that you can cremate corpses rather than just bury them, dismantling wells, economic houses, glassworks, upgraded jetty, upgraded plantation, expanded lumberjack hut, ecological house for ecology, farming. So finally farming, it comes in. Rain collector, upgraded farms, and then I'll build some economy and societal houses to figure out the remainder that are shadow locked to me. Here we go. Six new houses, 30 people. That should get me up to pop goal. Upgraded town center, social houses. And then I need a little bit more economy to be able to hit that. Oh, you know what? I need more economy houses than social houses. Yeah, whatever. That's a hell of a town. For, you know, post-apocalyptic hellscape. I like the thing. Now, one issue that we have is that we are just not importing enough vaccine.
Where are we going?
So let's go ahead and edit the This is weird.
New instructions?
It might be a bug. When I'll track the vehicle this time. When it approached, I saw the vaccines kind of like disappear. I'm not really sure about that. Well, let's go up to 5 ampules. And then I'm just going to like watch keenly. Because this just might be some sort of like game bug. The other thing is, I think for a transportation route... Oh, it's between A and B. Okay, I was kind of wondering if I could add in another stop to stop at the Oh, no, I can. So, load clay up here and drop it off at Yoda. I wonder how that route looks.
Engine running.
Let's keep an eye on it. It unpaused at some weird rate, so I'll have to keep an eye on it. Would it make my life easier or harder to try to produce the needed coal in the outpost? Harder. There's simply just not enough square footage of forests, and the outpost is too small to accommodate that. So it would be much harder, because I'm already producing plenty of coal at Yodaville, so there makes no sense to have it produced in two places for no reason.
New instructions?
I don't see that it picked up the clay, but I could have just set the
I'm at the wheel.
route wrong, but we'll keep an eye on it. I'm sort of what the... Wait.
Where are we going?
That was weird. But I did just hit Survival 101. I guess it's a total population between both, all of the owned settlements. So I have 101 pop between both settlements now. Even though I have a lot more capacity here. I have capacity for up to 120 at the home
New
base.
instructions?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you didn't pick up the ampules, like, at all. So this might be one of those, like, bugs in progress. Is that Yodaville? It's supposed to load... Oh, you know what it is? I think I know. Scrap is in the slot that it's supposed to load the ampules, so it's not loading the ampules.
Let's go.
That's probably it. So I'll let that run one more cycle, but I'm just going to manually control it for this time, where I'm going to load up some very healthy supply of ampules to supply the outpost. But I'm pretty sure the way this works is that these are just the physical inventory spaces of the slots the vehicle holds, and the problem was I had scrap loaded into the ampule slot, so it wasn't loading the ampules because it was already full. Which, you know, that makes sense. The other issue that I'm running into is that my plantation, I don't think, is able to keep up with the supply of fiber. So as the population grows and the demand for protective clothing grows, I'm going to need more coal, more fiber, more water, more, you know, all of that. Yep, just got the achievement for the Surviving 101. I have 101 people now. Nice.
Where are we going?
Alright, now there's plenty of vaccine to be distributed. And that should, yep, state of health is going back up. Good. A little bit of a bug of what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the rubber outpost, but it keeps counting Yodaville supplies here. So just probably one of those early access bugs. Because it's hard to tell like how many carbon masks are here, because it's glitching between the two settlements. There it goes. Now it's... I don't know if this is correct. It's hard to tell.
Where are we going?
So let's take a look. If this is working right, it should dump the rubber, provided that there's space, and dump the clay, provided that there's space. And it did. And then it picked up the masks, picked up the ampules, and picked up the coal. So, okay, it's working correctly. Now, I wouldn't say it's working... It's maybe not easy to interpret exactly what it's doing, but it is doing it correctly, which I guess is the greater point. So as far as supply and demand goes, I would say we probably need another plantation for more fibers, more flax. So I'll set that up for down here. And then as we have another plantation, we'll need another weavery. And then the weavery is going to require more water. So I've already set up this jetty to supply some of the water, but we're going to need probably even more than that. Because the weaveries are massive water hogs. And then our population has been going up, so the amount of food that I'm able to supply needs to go up in turn with our pop gain. So we're in the whole 5 cloth a minute, and this weavery is producing none because our plantation is tapped. So second plantation will help with that. That actually might have been the bottleneck, so I might not even turn on the other weavery just yet, because we might just be bottlenecked in the fiber supply. Because this is making 7 a minute, but has been turning on and off as a result of supply issues. So I didn't end up, I wonder why my economy hasn't scaled up a little higher. I was trying to figure out what the last researches that were blocked to me were. And I thought building the economy dwellings would have shown me that by now. I'll build a few more economy dwellings. We have a lot of children now. There's going to be a huge workforce pop boom because of all the extra houses that I built once they're once those children age up. There we go. Okay, so I don't see any options here in society, which is why I didn't go for that. But copper mine, lead mine, copper smelter, and lead foundry. And given that there's lead, but doesn't seem to be anything to do with lead, I bet this goes up further. This is just purely a guess, but I didn't really see any of the production chain requiring lead. So I imagine that leads to like solder, that leads well beyond what we see here. But I could be wrong about that. That's just pure educated guess speculation. All right, so cloth per minute has now been met because it was just a supply issue. So this is using 10 fibers a minute, and we're generating excess. We're generating 30. So I can reduce that to... Actually, I think I only needed 1 plantation, maybe. Here, let me go fibers per minute. Okay, no, I need a second plantation. I was wrong about that. Okay, so I've balanced it. We're producing enough cloth. No, we're not. I'm still in the hole. Okay, let's keep balancing. Now I'm producing enough cloth to supply carbon masks and rubber gloves. But we're just using more rubber gloves than we're making because we're not importing enough rubber. So is there rubber over here that we...
Engine running.
I think ultimately what's happening, or the issue is, we need more rubber than we're actually manufacturing. And the vulcanizers just... there's plenty of supply for coal and natural latex, but the vulcanizer just needs more labor workforce. So I can reduce the people that were working in the tree nursery so that there's more vulcanizers. But yeah, it's definitely challenging, balancing, you know, workforce supply and demand. So now we're making 6 a minute, up from like 2 a minute, which should help with what we need for those rubber gloves. And the forests look pretty lush now. Those foresters definitely worked, and the available food stocks went from like 150 to like 600.
Changing.
So the forest, and it's one of those because I'm not cutting these trees down. Once the forester has like functionally forested the whole area, I don't even need the foresters anymore. Not really. So apart from the really poor rubber supply, most of the supply and demand has been balanced. The only thing I would say at this point that would be meaningful to do in Yodaville would be to probably build a lot more cisterns and food depots, so that the supply and demand shocks for droughts could be mitigated. Essentially, just to have an enormous supply of water, so that every time I get like a drought, it doesn't matter, because I'm sitting on like 10,000 water that can easily outlast whatever the drought throws at me. That would be probably the most reasonable thing for me to work on for the remainder of the stream, is just the essentially drought-proof the basis that I have. And because the jetties work so much more efficiently than the wells, to essentially just build a whole bunch of jetties. To make sure those jetties are within the sphere of influence of a cistern on the road network. Wouldn't be terrible to have this tiny forest grown out a bit, and then to forage it. I don't even have a forager over here. There's like a whole wooded section over here, totally untapped for foraging. Let's get one of those too. I'm gonna put 2 foragers here. One for the northern area.
The draft has come. Hopefully our supplies will be enough to last.
And southern area. Get a food depot. This is gonna be a hell of a road. So stick a food depot there. Oh, that food depot, hold on, blocks the road for that foraging hut. So it probably won't work for this drought, because I didn't set up all the cisterns ahead of time. But for future droughts, the infrastructure I'm currently working on building will probably help to protect against anything in the future. What I don't fully understand is why the population UI, does it disappear for the droughts? I don't really get what's going on there. Sometimes the population can be seen and sometimes it can't. And it's not any buttons that I've been clicking. Well, if I was to assume, I'm going to assume that's just more pre-release bugs to be fixed. So we are in the hole about 280 a minute. Okay, we're fine. We have about 10 minutes worth of water, and the drought lasts for 6 minutes. And then we have same with food. So we have stockpiled enough in Yodaville. The question is, have we stockpiled enough? We have about 10 minutes of food and only 5 minutes of water. So water is going to be more of an issue in the rubber outpost, but I can move the jetty workers from the jetty to the well, and that should be fine. Yeah, okay, we're fine in the rubber outpost too. And we have some stockpiled gloves, just not much. Gloves and masks are hard to supply. Now, one thing I imagine, which will become a feature when the game closes in on release, is to be able to restrict what is made available to citizens. Because right now, there isn't a radioactive storm, and in fact, I think in the demo, besides the initial radioactive storm you get hit with, there is no follow-up radioactivity. I could be wrong about that. It's anecdotal evidence. But my point is, because in the demo there isn't any additional radiation, there really isn't much of a benefit to supply those masks and gloves. It's just something that I can do, but I don't think that there's a functional reason to do it. But I'd imagine that nearing release time, there'll be ways to restrict your settlers to be able to not use masks and gloves during non-radioactive times. Because there's no radioactivity in the soil right now, but I'm burning through gloves and masks anyway, which doesn't make a ton of sense. This was the first time I'm going to go to high game speed. Just whip through this drought. I've almost gotten through that turbine. So in the 3 hours and change of this demo
stream, we don't
stream,
have much water left. What if it's not enough to survive the coming drought?
nope, I'm not going to water ration. So that was one of those critical resource decisions to make, where it would have made the rubber jetty or the rubber outpost unhappy for me to ration water, but I knew that the drought was coming to an end, so I didn't bother. And now that the drought's over, we are water positive about 300, food positive about 80. So it's just a matter of like filling stocks back up, preparing for the next drought. And given my excess workforce, I intend to do that. What do my people do all day long? Oh, they scoop water. Yeah, it has a bug now looking at people. The people overlay seems to be blown up. That's okay.
Sickness has broken out. Since we're medically well supplied, we should be over and done with it soon.
Okay, there is a sickness breaking out somewhere. I would report the bug, but I think in my case the game just fatally crashed. Because clearly I found the bug. Just can't report it if the game executable goes... Yeah, yep. Game's dead. But since there was only like... Oh no! I came back! You survived! I will wait post-stream to report these bugs. Okay, now we're in the water positive of like 500 units. So it's one of those cases of like, just need to build a few cisterns. Oh, what am I lacking for more cisterns? Scrap? Oh, well, lucky for me, I live in a scrapyard, more or less. And I'm guessing if I just save and load, a lot of those bugs go away. Cannibalism confirmed. Hey, this isn't Frostpunk. Or something. Or Rimworld. I don't... There's a... What game was it? Was it Surviving the Aftermath? Or New Cycle? I think it was Surviving the Aftermath, where there's an option to turn to cannibalism, but I could be mistaken. It's been a while since I played it. But that's always grim. Unless, of course, you want to. Just trying to optimize the protein intake? Yeah. Right, recycle, reduce, reuse, and close the loop. You know, who needs cemeteries? Just, that's a waste of food. Or so says the min-maxer. Alright, so the pop is back. I can see it again. It was just a UI bug. And to be able to level out the peaks and troughs of the droughts, I'm just like constructing a massive stockpile so that I can essentially ignore droughts. And surprisingly, I am burning through my my scrap. It's something I didn't expect. But here you can see some of the mines that I would have access to, you know, or vehicle workshop, things like that are locked in the demo. All right, scrapyard. Let's see if we can actually, another weird side goal, if we can actually get rid of a scrap debris that is present on the map before the end of the stream. I think we can. I think it's possible. Just need to...
The weather seems to be changing.
Stick a whole bunch of people in the scrapyard. So I don't know if I stockpiled enough food to be able to ignore this drought. Well, time will tell. Oh, yeah, we did it. Cool. Well, that frees up a whole lot of space, doesn't it? Maybe we can get rid of this. Well, there's no way we're going to get rid of the 2,600 for that building there. But yeah, if you really hyper-focus your scrapyards to be able to clear specific areas, it is possible to free up a lot more real estate, which is certainly nice. Because that's now a lot more room around my town hall, my market, and my pharmacy that is buildable.
The drought has come. Hopefully our supplies will be enough to last.
Our supplies, huh? Oh, I have a lot of supplies. Maybe not enough, though. It depends on the duration. Oh, well, this is a very short drought. Yeah, so it's no issue at all. Or at least not for my main outpost, but maybe my rubber outpost. Seems like a lot of the UI problems kicked off when I set up an outpost. So I think outpost... Oh, and interesting that this is I think a... No, I don't know what happened to the drought. For a second I thought it was a localized drought, only to Yodaville, but it seems like the drought's over. Because I looked away? I don't know. I can't pretend to know. Or to understand. Yeah. What kind of building do you think this is? Looks like an apartment complex. I mean, it has playgrounds, so I'd assume it was some sort of apartment complex. What am I lacking now? Plastics? Oh, yeah. I like how the weird goal of just like stockpiling stupid amounts of water then caused bottlenecks elsewhere. It's like, well, you want stupid amounts of water? Well, guess what? You need plastic to be able to put that water in. What am I, becoming Nestle now?
Here we go. The first drops have already fallen. It looks like it could rain for quite some time.
Field crops grow faster. Nice. Yeah, 1.5 times the speed for flax, and I'm assuming rubber too. Yep. Cool.
The weather seems to be changing. We ought to prepare ourselves for a drought. We're better off stockpiling sufficient water and food so that we're well equipped.
My poor cloth hasn't kept up with everything else. Yeah, we are sitting on almost 9,000 water.
The drought has come. Hopefully our supplies will be enough to last.
Empty work area. Oh, we stripped out the northeast section of that that building pretty quickly, I would say. It's mostly because I've been playing on high game speed and just like trying to delete things for funsies. But we got it. We definitely deleted that section of the apartment housing.
The food is...
Ooh, and I clicked a bit too fast, but because of our high variety of high supply of
The
food.
situation has calmed down for now, but we have to keep an eye on the food situation.
The reward for having a nice... Oh, I think the rubber outpost bottomed out on food. That's what happened. I was accidentally a little over eager on clicking the alerts. The rubber outpost definitely hasn't... I haven't been focusing on trying to like max out stockpiles or anything like that, so it's a lot more sensitive to food shock than my initial home. But yeah, having a ridiculous amount of people on food and water for Yodaville has made the frequent droughts a bit of a joke, I would like to think. Oh, Chunky, come on. Yep, definitely hitting the limits of the demo here. So I think instead of watching the game's executable crash, I am going to, with like 3 minutes left on the stream, wrap it up here while the game is still kind of running in the background. So that, my friends, is where I'm going to leave off playing the Endzone 2 demo. Thank you for tuning in to a first look at Endzone 2's pre-release demo, which originally streamed live on Twitch June 4th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it. And you can also find a link to Patreon there as well. Thank you so very much for tuning in. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. Hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow survivors of the Endzone.